Is he wonderful? By no means, except for you realize he has a ton of the characteristics. No, he has a ton of the characteristics that I love. And we're having a truly great time. And I'm getting a charge out of life. So there is trust ladies pessimistic stuff that surfaces every one of the skeletons and everything, since we have such countless things that we share for all intents and purpose. Music, to tell these recent days, have accompanied a ton of astounding titles, beginning from Beyoncé getting attributed for Travis Scott's new collection to her folks petitioning for legal separation. Anyway, what we certainly didn't see coming is the vocalist stepdad supposedly getting exposed for having a fairly difficult issue. No, this isn't straightforwardly attached to his well-being or any such thing, yet it appears to be his concern of a lot of screen time could have truly broke what he and Mrs. Knowles have had going for them. What presents his defense, especially more awful, is that the news just broke on Twitter, and fans are allowing him to have all the intensity. There's more going on than exactly what the titles are talking about, so remain with me on this. Till the end, it's TGIF for every other person. Yet Beyonce's folks, Tina Knowles and Richard Lawson, could not precisely be having the greatest day. And that is on the grounds that the pair appear to be up to speed in a remarkable fix. Well, Tina Knowles is free, yet Lawson is by all accounts the one in a tough spot. Now there are a wide range of sorts of issues an individual could have throughout everyday life, except Lawson's fix is by all accounts a dependence on pornos. That is right, as per late reports, for what seems like forever hit a major knock after he apparently got exposed via virtual entertainment for being vigorously put resources into grown-up. Happy the report about how Lawson manages his extra energy didn't appear unexpectedly. There is a really snappy story behind how he was gotten. And what makes that story amusing is that it was because of fans on Twitter. So as per subtleties, clients went through the entertainer's preferences on Twitter, which is public, and observed that the 76-year-old entertainer was enjoying unequivocal grown-up recordings. After the news broke, Twitter quickly went into a furor, with many individuals discussing exactly the way in which insane it is that Sovereign Cove's stepdad may be getting shrewd in his spare energy. One individual who might never want to be in Lawson's position, composed Richard Lawson, is a great representation why more seasoned individuals needn't bother with to be via web-based entertainment. Someone else who believed Lawson's activities are completely disreputable, composed not Richard Lawson Twitter likes, were truly crazy like Prosky, you wedded to Beyonce mom you, a damn shame. Another person uncovered that avoiding Lawson's preferences is the most effective way to safeguard their mental stability. They added that the horniest individuals I follow are saying Richard Lawson's preferences are dirty, so I certainly don't have to see them for myself. Well separated from individuals that have been remarking on exactly the way in which seriously Beyonce's father had wrecked 2 or 3 of them, additionally utilized the new data to reach specific determinations that have even caused more mix on this yet. Before we get to that, there are several others that don't see the serious deal in what just became out about Lawson. To some of them, a great many people are being dishonest, and to others they appear to honestly think having grown up satisfied in your Twitter likes isn't entirely terrible, as everybody is painting it to be. What these gatherings share, practically speaking anyway, is that they have likewise been broadcasting their considerations about Lawson getting decided by everybody on Twitter. On account of the main client, they appear to be coming from a deceptive stance, as they composed a ton. You all can't discuss Richard Lawson on the grounds that the preferences you all have on a portion of these pics and recordings on here are similarly as recounting your hypers, reference mark sexuality. One more client with a comparable perspective, yet with a marginally unique methodology, composed people making a decision about Richard Lawson on what he loves. Yet I bet you, assuming Twitter had a capability to make you all bookmarks public child, you all would deactivate and purchase a totally different telephone. A third client guarantees that they don't see all the quarrel circumventing about the man loving several grown-up recordings and cases. They even have more regrettable substance on their channel. They composed Richard Lawson had customary P0RN in his preferences in people, behaving like it was the most over-the-top revolting on earth. I should be a despicable ass and indicator GGA by all accounts, while many individuals would concur that both of these gatherings of people truly have focuses in their viewpoint about this entire story. It's becoming superfluous in light of the fact that others have utilized the report about Lawson to make determinations on what truly occurred in his union with Beyonce's mother. As per clients on the web, Tina ought to have seen the signs from the very beginning. This viewpoint turned out to be considerably more significant after a meeting of both Tina and Richard came to Twitter. Kind of man I needed. I appealed to God for the kind of man I needed, and I got essentially that. Is he wonderful? In no way, shape, or form, yet you realize he has a ton of the characteristics. Nobody client that watched the video had a few contemplations on their marriage, saying the large thing is Tina loves to talk and get her red lips fluttering out of control. Richard is more easygoing. I surmise things just followed all the way through for a really long time, and one of them became weary of the other. That is my supposition. Well, in truth, there's a ton to their supposed separation that the vast majority have barely any familiarity with, one of which is that it seems Tina truly petitioned for the separation instead of the news that has been guaranteeing Lawson petitioned for it. Yet there's still significantly more bits of gossip started twirling when fans began seeing Richard Lawson's non-attendance during Beyonce's profoundly expected Renaissance visit, albeit the ghost entertainer excused these cases. Fans started getting on different subtleties on Tina Knowles' Instagram that appeared to recommend a potential detachment. One of the main hints pointing towards a potential split is Lawson's non-appearance from occasions, including the Knowles and Carter families. As of late on July 2nd, Jay-Z's mom, Gloria Carter, commended her wedding to her long-term sweetheart, Roxanne Wilcher, after openly emerging as a lesbian quite a while back. Shockingly, the Shout Dracula Shout entertainer was discernibly missing from the GLAAD event. Fans likewise saw his non-attendance during Beyonce's visit. Furthermore, Lawson has been effectively advancing his film Dark Fear at different film celebrations, including Cannes, yet Knowles was no place to be seen close by. To add to that, there is all likewise the way that Beyonce's mom unobtrusively eliminated Lawson's last name from her Instagram bio, changing from Tina Knowles Lawson to just Tina Knowles as per Akashobas. Besides, the Sugar Slope entertainer has been spotted without his wedding band. As of late, these subtleties have raised doubts among excited fans who are frantic to be aware, assuming everything is ok between the couple currently anyway. It's basically been affirmed that it's over for Tina and her man. Knowles supposedly sought legal separation on Wednesday, July 26, closure her marriage of 8 years to the 76-year-old entertainer. The split comes after some hypothesis about the pair's marriage, as the two haven't been on an honorary pathway together since spring, and he hasn't been close by. While she upheld her girl Beyonce on her visit in her court recording, she referred to the reason for the split as hopeless contrasts, as per TMZ, and said they'd been isolated since Tuesday, July 25th. The couple wedded in 2015 in a festival on the water went to by his girl entertainer, Bianca Lawson, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and a lot more star-studded visitors. Knowles was recently hitched to Matthew Knowles. She sought legal separation from him, which was finished in 2011 after over 30 years of marriage. She said it was an exceptionally difficult thing to do at 58 years old. By and by, she got it done and pushed ahead with Lawson. She recently said that he was the man God shipped off her after a lot of petitions. When I went through my separation, I concluded that I planned to ask this time for somebody, then God sent me somebody. She said I appealed to God for the particular characteristics I needed in a man, and I won't make do with anything less. It's practically surprising to see the pair head out in a different direction on the grounds that their story was really rusing to many individuals, Knowles and Lawson. Go way back in the event that you didn't be aware before they turned into a heartfelt thing they met. 30 years earlier, his sister was one of her old buddies. And when he initially met her, she was pregnant with Beyonce and hitched to Matthew. Thus, he held his underlying appreciation for her to himself in the wake of reconnecting following her separation, which was settled in 2011. They started seeing each other. The pair ventured out interestingly together as a thing at a significant occasion at the Holy Messenger Ball in October 2013. Despite how any reasonable person would agree that section may be over, while many individuals appear to accept it rigorously, in light of the fact that Lawson was simply up to speed in a horrendous position, including grown-up satisfied.